Hello, my name is David, I'm French, and in this video I would like to share with you a few techniques on how to learn languages. I use those techniques to learn mostly Mandarin Chinese, and sometimes I do that with English. These techniques is very useful to learn a language when you are a total beginner. So to practice these techniques, what is really important to understand is the concept of language that has been explained by Stephen Krashen, which is we learn a language when we understand. We learn the language when we understand the input, and that's it. So pretty much what does it mean is that when you hear a word or you see a word, you just can associate this word with a meaning or eventually a function. So for example, if I say the word maison in French, well, if you understand this word, you're going to associate maison with the concept, eventually a picture or the feeling of a house. So now, how can we put that understanding on how to learn language into a technique? So what I did now for many years while I was learning Mandarin or English or even other languages such as Thai, I'm going to explain you now. And at the end of this video, I will share with you a software that I found extremely useful to learn languages. It is completely free, by the way. All right, now let's talk about the technique. So ideally, you should find a video where you can have both subtitles in the language that you are learning and eventually in your own native language. If you already speak English, it's completely fine to find a video in the language that you are learning plus English subtitles. If you already speak English, it's completely fine to find a video where you have subtitles in the language that you are trying to learn and subtitles in English. The last possibility is the concept of comprehensive input, where you just have the language that you want to learn and some image or some symbols that helps you to understand the language. So now, what are we trying to do? Let's say we have a video with two kinds of subtitles. So you're going to listen a sentence, so you press play, and every time a sentence stopped, you press pause and you try to see, do I understand this sentence? If you understand, you just keep going, you press lecture again. If you don't understand, you stay in pause and you try to figure out which word I don't understand. If it's every word, just check what is the easiest to guess, what is the most similar to the language that you know or another language that you know. Once you find this word, you take a copybook, a pen, and you just write the word that you want to learn equal the meaning in your own language. That's it. So what you have done, you have associated a sound with a meaning. So what is helpful then is to find a word that is first important, that is new but important, and then the more you get good at the language, the more you start to remember the meaning of the words that you have already seen. Then you're going to focus on the small words like the preposition, the conjunction, and every other, let's say, function words. But first, it's best to focus on noun, verb, adjective, and eventually adverb. And then we can start to learn abstract words. Then for how long to practice these techniques? I would say the very minimum is 10 minutes, because when you are doing that for a while, then your brain starts to really get better at trying to understand and focusing on the sound, focusing on different small things that makes you get better at practicing these techniques. I know that it's very simple, but in your brain, it happens lots of things when you're practicing this. So I say the minimum is 10 minutes. Then I will say 20 to 30 minutes every day is fine. I think it's much better to do it every day, 20 to 30 minutes, than do a long time one day and then stop for 2 or 3 days. So for me, what worked the best was really to integrate this as a habit, that no matter what, I will find a time during the day when I will practice these techniques. Now, about the difficulty about practicing these techniques, Well, the first problem is usually to find a video where you can have both subtitles. Subtitles in the language you are learning and subtitles in your own language. However, the software that I will suggest might solve this problem, you will see. The second difficulty is to find a video that is kind of at the same level that you can understand. You want first to do some video where you have the most important words in the language that you are learning, or words that usually show up with a high frequency. And usually in beginners video, the words with the most important words, they show up a lot of time. And then it will be much easier for you to remember these words, because you may write this word one time, maybe you may write this word 2 times or 3 times, because usually we don't remember in one step. Sometimes we need many steps in order that we recognize these words and we can associate it with a meaning. But yeah, so what you want to do is first focus on some video that use important words and eventually repeat those words or expression all along the video. And then when you get better, then you start to focus on more advanced video, more difficult dialogue, so that you keep going beyond your comfort zone. So that was for the difficulty of using these techniques. Now I will talk about the pro of this technique. So the first thing, it is very simple. The only thing you need to do is to show up and practice. Then with the time, it really becomes a hobby, something that you like to do, and you just do your exercise of learning this or this and this language, and you just get better. Another thing is it's a kind of investment. When you are learning language, improve your ability to understand. It improves also your ability to connect with more and more people on this planet. So you feel like you never really waste your time when you're practicing this. Okay, now finally, I want to talk about this software that I recommend to practice this technique. This software is called Language Reactor. You go on their website and you can download an extension. So for me, I use the extension on Google Chrome. And then it works both with YouTube and Netflix. What this extension do is pretty much it shows 2 subtitles. It shows the subtitles that is already there in YouTube, and then you can automatically translate these subtitles. If there are already 2 or 3 or more subtitles already in the video, then you can use the subtitles that were already put in the video without even needing translation, which usually is even better because the subtitles that has already been uploaded in the video are man-made, which means that they are usually more reliable. Okay, in this video, I'm not going to explain so much about how to use this software. Maybe in another video, I'm going to do that. But pretty much here, I just wanted to share with you these techniques. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can practice and learn language with as fun as I'm doing. If you liked this video, please consider to subscribe. It will help me and motivates me to do more video like that. And I wish you a good day. Bye for now.